Remember, folks, I'm just a Muppet in a chair. Don't take me seriously. Hello, Boomerites. What's going on? I hope you're having a good day. Wow, my voice is cracking already. Hitting puberty for the 100th time. Welcome back to the channel. I did a Yes Minister reaction about a month or two back, something like that. And I got quite a positive response for it. People are asking me to review Yes Minister full episodes. I might do it at some point. Will it ever make it to YouTube? I don't know. Most of my show reactions get blocked on YouTube these days. But I wanted to do another reaction to Yes Minister. So I looked up a clip myself, and this one popped up, and it's called Why the UK is in the EU. Now, I know you're not anymore, and I'm not doing this reaction to ruffle any feathers. I just want to assure you of that. I know it's a touchy subject over there, but I just figured this would be a good clip to react to. So this is the one I'm reacting to. Why the UK is in the EU, and this show was, well, this clip from this show was recorded in what, like the 1980s or something. It's got the great Nigel Hawthorne in this, and you know, I'll just shut up now. Let's just get right into it and see what it's all about. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want, and let's see what they're talking about here. When it comes to the UK in the EU, here we go.
The writing's on the wall.
Well, in any event, we'll have to think of something to make the public think kindly towards administration because of the Europass.
Quite.
Europass?
Europass? European identity card. Well, Bernard, surely you've informed the Minister
Minister, didn't you do your boxes last night?
No, I was redrafting the redraft of the draft.
Well, briefly, Minister, Brussels is about to decree that there should be a new European identity card to be carried by all citizens of the EEC. Now, the Foreign Office is quite ready to go along with it as a quid pro quo for a deal over the Buttermount and the Wine Lake and the Milk Ocean. The Lamb War and the Cod Stink. And quite obviously, the Prime Minister wants you to introduce the legislation.
Me?
Yes, well, it's well known that you're pro-Europe, you see. And it would simplify our administration enormously in the long run, so it's a good idea, don't you think?
Good idea.
Good idea? Not a good idea?
Political suicide?
Trying to make British people carry compulsory identification papers. They'll say I'm introducing a police state again. Is this what we fought 2 world wars for, Humphrey?
Well, Minister, it's really little more than a sort of driving license.
It's the last nail in my coffin, that's what it is.
But you might get away with calling it Euro Club Express.
Bernard,
Why do we have to introduce it? Can't the Foreign Office do it?
Here's a question I have, because I've, you know, as the ignorant American on the screen here, I didn't know that you apparently had to carry around like a EU identification card or something. I know there's something, and please correct me if I'm getting this wrong, because I'm way in the dark on this stuff, but if you're in Europe and you're part of the EU, isn't it like much easier to go from country to country if you're traveling? So I assume that's what the card would be for, right? Because this is how little I know of it. I didn't even know you had to have a EU card at all. But it sounds like they're introducing the measure here. Anyway, some questions. So maybe some of you guys can be kind enough to inform me a little bit.
Well, in fact, that was the Prime Minister's original suggestion, but the Foreign Secretary thought that this was a Home Office matter, and the Home Office took the view that it was essentially an administrative matter, and the Prime Minister agreed.
They're all playing pass the parcel.
Can you blame them when you can hear it ticking?
Well, I'm afraid that the identity card bill is planned to be the last action of this department.
Wonderful ammunition for the anti-Europeans.
Yes, don't the Foreign Office realise what damage this will do to the European idea?
Well, I'm sure they do. That's why they support it.
Well, surely the Foreign Office is pro-Europe, isn't it?
Yes and no. If you'll forgive the expression. The Foreign Office is pro-Europe because it is really anti-Europe. The civil service was united in its desire to make sure that the common market didn't work. That's why we went into it.
What are you talking about?
Minister, Britain has had the same foreign policy objective for at least the last 500 years, to create a disunited Europe. In that cause, we have fought with the Dutch against the Spanish, with the Germans against the French, with the French and Italians against the Germans, and with the French against the Germans and Italians. Divide and rule, you see. Why should we change now, when it's worked so well?
So, ancient history, surely.
Yes, and current policy. We had to break the whole thing up, so we had to get inside. We tried to break it up from the outside, but that wouldn't work. Now that we're inside, we can make a complete pig's breakfast of the whole thing.
The way he put that, it kind of made, with the different wars that he's talking about, it kind of made a little bit of sense. In a way. That's actually kind of terrifying at the same time. But hey, I mean, you guys have been on the winning end of so many wars over there, so you must have done something right. But anyway.
Set the Germans against the French against the Italians against the Dutch. The Foreign Office is terribly pleased. It's just like old times.
Surely we're all committed to the European ideal.
Really, Minister?
If not, why are we pressing for an increase in the membership?
Well, for the same reason. It's just like the United Nations, in fact. The more members it has, the more arguments it can stir up, the more futile and impotent it becomes.
What appalling cynicism.
Yes. We call it diplomacy, Minister.
That was that was an awesome ending to that. Some of that stuff in the beginning went straight over my head, man. I didn't understand a couple of those sentences there. Here's the thing with this show. It looks very, very good. Very good. Extremely good. However, I think it might be a little too smart for me. Although I've said that about QI, and now I'm loving the QI reactions that I've done. It's one of my favorite shows to react to. Although that's compilations. This show seems like it might be a little too smart for me. I just don't think... and it seems very UK-centric to the point where a lot of the references I wouldn't understand. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself. Who knows? But it seems like it would be a challenging show for an American like me to follow in some ways. But it does seem like an incredibly good show from just 2 clips I've seen, and it seems great. It seems amazing, and it seems like a show that could probably be timeless in the way they talk about politics and stuff like that. So. Which, you know, whatever politics they talk about, it doesn't really matter to me. I like to be entertained, and this show seems to be very entertaining, with great performances from the actors. So I couldn't give this show enough praise, honestly, from just 2 clips that I've seen. But with some of the things that I was confused about earlier in the video, please try to help me out, or the questions that I had. I would really appreciate some of that. And again, I don't mean to stir up any shit here. Okay, I know that the UK leaving the EU is still a very sensitive subject over there, as I found out quite early on in these reactions. But, you know, I'm just trying to be entertained from the show, and some of the things I'm confused on, I just want answers to my questions, that's all. So I'm not coming from a bad place, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So anyway, much love. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. Like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day.